Guys, so you're thinking of moving to O'Fallon, Missouri. Well, welcome to my channel where I am going to show you exactly what it looks like to live here in O'Fallon, Missouri. I want to do a Google Map tour with you today and just highlight some of the areas here in O'Fallon in relation to downtown St. Louis. So let's go ahead and just dive in. One of the major highways here is going to be Highway 70. 70 will take you right out of O'Fallon and down to any of the activities that you would want to do in St. Louis. That's your main highway out of O'Fallon. There are three major highways that go east to west that take you into St. Louis, and we'll kind of review those. But let me scroll in real quick because I do want to show you that the major road that runs through O'Fallon is right here. I mean, it runs all the way from North O'Fallon down to South O'Fallon, and that is called Highway K. So if you're Highway K, no, that is O'Fallon. That runs north to south, and that will take you through the entire town. Outside of that, I did show you Highway 70 runs through and it'll take you downtown St. Louis. But then in the middle of Highway K, so if you live more centrally located in O'Fallon, you can take 364 route, and that will take you downtown. Now, if you live more south area of O'Fallon, Darden Prairie, these type of things, that's going to be 64. And local people refer to it as Highway 40. That's just how it is. So if you are new to the area and you're like, what is Highway 40? I have no idea where that is. Just know that it is 64. So it's the same road. But I believe there was at one point they just renamed it, or 40 went one direction, 64 went the other, and we just stopped that. So it is 64, but just know it's pretty much the same. So one of the major things that we do want to point out, because we know travel is important for people, is where is the airport in relation to O'Fallon. So if you are in this North O'Fallon area, Highway 70 is going to be your most direct route to Lambert International Airport. It is an international airport. And then if you're more, toward the middle of O'Fallon, 364 is probably gonna be your best bet to connect on over to 70. So you take 364, and then it would probably take you 94 and get you on 70. So 70 is the most direct route. I would say anywhere in O'Fallon, if you're traveling to the airport, you're going to be looking at about 30 minutes, maybe 20, 25, depending on the traffic that St. Louis has. I know around the holidays, all airports get busy. So like I said, if you're in northern section of O'Fallon, you'll take 70. If you're in the middle of O'Fallon, you'll probably take 364 to 94, 270. And then if you're in the south of O'Fallon, it'll probably take you down 94 to cut on over to 70. The other thing that I want to point out before we kind of get into what is in O'Fallon and how do you get to where those places are is different hospitals. So we have several major hospitals along this 64 exchange, actually. We have, which is also great because if you're a nurse, if you're in the healthcare industry, anything like that, these are some of the major employers that are in here in O'Fallon. So we have Barnes Jewish, Big Barnes, that's more toward downtown. We have Mercy, we have Missouri Baptist, MoBap. We have SLU Hospital, we have St. Luke's, and many other small little hospitals. And then along 70, some of the major hospitals are St. Peter's Barnes, SSM De Pere. If you see the word De Pere, it looks like Des Perez, but just know it's pronounced De Pere. And so those are along 70. So if you're in the healthcare industry and you are looking like, hey, where are my major employers? Where will I be able to work if I move to O'Fallon? That's going to be where you're looking for. And so, like I said, most of those are going to run along 64 and 70. Destinations. Let's talk about the fun destinations that are here in St. Louis. It might take me a second to scroll into them, but we have Forest Park. I think that'll be pretty easy for us to find here. That's going to be this big old area in green. That is Forest Park. It was voted one of the top parks in the country. And so if you are coming from O'Fallon, I live in O'Fallon personally, so I travel quite a bit to these areas downtown. That's probably going to take you like 30 minutes. Not too bad. They have the art museum there. And then a lot of weddings take place in front of there. Super beautiful. And then we also have the History Museum as well. There is a free kid area in there. Most of the exhibits are free. So I have a little 3-year-old boy and we go there and it's like called a little clubhouse and we play in there, as well as they have more of like cultural exhibits that come through, free things like that. One of my favorite ones that they had was, it was just a whole room of, I believe it was like different areas in St. Louis, and they had markers and like dry erase markers. You could color it. It was really, really cool. It was literally the whole room. So that is the History Museum. And then obviously the number one thing that you are going to hear is people say, we have a free zoo in St. Louis. And that is correct. We do have a free zoo. Hallelujah. So it is free to get in. You do have to pay for a few things when you do get in there. So you're looking at like maybe the train, petting the stingrays. They have a carousel, like a 4D theater. So those type of things are not included in the free admission, but it's not that expensive to buy those things. So if you are going to the zoo, you will probably be taking 64, getting off here on Hampton. And then if you want to park in the south parking lot, you can. It is pay to park. Or what I like to do, this is my little trick, is I like to go through this little roundabout, come on up here to Washington Drive, Government Drive, and then I like to park along here in the Fine Arts, and I like to enter in the north parking lot, which they have right there. And you can park, there's parallel parking all along these different areas here that you can do when you visit the zoo. The other area down here, just while I'm scrolling around, is we do have the Muny. It is an outdoor stage. It is in the summertime. It is fabulous. So you can pay to see performances, like they have a Disney performance every year. Last year we went and saw, I think it was Little Mermaid. It was super fun. This year is Frozen. But they also have free seats. So if you get there early, you can get free seats and you can see the Muny. If you don't know what the Muny is, I would really encourage you to look it up. It is super cool. And then let's get back to O'Fallon. So that's kind of, what you're looking at. If you're living in O'Fallon and you're like, hey, I just want to know what it looks like to pop down to St. Louis and the things like that. That's what we're looking at. I am looking down, just so you know, because I did take just a few little notes so I didn't miss any of the fun stuff that O'Fallon has to offer. But one of the things that we really love as a family in O'Fallon is Fort Zumwalt Park. You get off on Highway K, Veterans Memorial. Will take you right to the park, and they have frisbee golf. So if you're a frisbee golfer, you can do that. They have a really nice, robust course for that. It is wooded. There is water, different things. So it is challenging. It's not going to be like one of your open frisbee golf. They have fishing. They have an annual celebration of light, and so they have different things. This is one of my favorite things, and I tell people about it all the time. I love that it's just right in O'Fallon, and I can get to it. Is the first couple of nights is open. You can walk through. You can do a holiday stroll. You can see the lights. You can meet Santa. They have fireworks twice that evening that you can watch. And the fireworks are fabulous. They're like 6-7 minutes long. They might actually be a little longer than that. And then they have carriage rides, and then you can drive through it. So that's super fun. We love Fort Zumwalt Park for that. And if you end up going, just a little trick or trick for you. If you do the walk one, right across the road at this Liberty Church, they will let you park in their parking lot for free. They won't charge you for that. And they hand out like cookies and fun little, snacks afterwards. So that's kind of cute if you get there on time, and then you just have to walk right across to get into the park. There is another park more south. And so if you are more in the southern hemisphere of O'Fallon, O'Day Park might be the place for you. It has a playground, trails, camping. It has like a little water feature as well. This is going to be maybe for more of your older type of kiddos, not for toddlers or anything like that, because there's a lot of climbing features that you'd have to watch them on. But we really do truly love O'Day Park and all that they have to offer there. And then Civic Park. And this is going to be the home of the Alligators Creek Aquatic Center. So basically, if you like to swim, that's the big old community pool over there. They have like a little, history stuff as well from the beginning of O'Fallon. Here's the aquatic center right here. And what's really cute, sometimes at the aquatic center, they'll shut it down for a couple days in the summer, and they'll like allow your dogs to come swim, and you can have like a dog play day. I've never done it. I want to do it. It's super fun. The other thing is I want to point out Brendan's Playground. I really want you guys to see this one. It is right over here. Brendan's Playground is really unique in the fact that if you have a child that has any kind of sensory concerns, or they're in a wheelchair or something like that, you want more access for them to be able to play and interact with other children, Brendan's Playground is fabulous for that. And then there is pickleball, hockey, basketball, tennis, and baseball. So there's quite a bit that has to offer right here. It's right next to one of the elementary schools as well. And then they have tennis courts right down there. So that's a nice little area. It's across from, if you have kids that play baseball or anything like that, Ozzie Smith Sports Complex, which right here in this area, every May, the city of O'Fallon will do like a public works fair that's free that you can take your kids to, and they can see the trash trucks. Like last year we went and my kiddo was able to like see what it looks like to fix some of the water main breaks, and they were helping him do that. They had like little train rides, all kinds of, fun things, and they give away free food, lunch. I think it's like hot dogs and chips for your kiddos. And then we do have the O'Fallon Hoots baseball team. So let's talk about vacations, because vacations are uber important. And so we talked about the airport. So if you're going on a vacation that you need, to fly somewhere, the airport is available down Highway 70. However, if you are talking about like you just want like a weekend trip, you just want to like hop on the road, you just want to go somewhere south, Fallon, you're going to have, Branson. So you're able to easily drive down that direction. South on 44 is what you would take down to Branson. And then if you are like, hey, actually I want to see what is happening in Chicago, you can take 70 and you can take that to 270. And then, you just take 55 all the way north to Chicago. So we've done that trip a couple of times, and it's about 5-6 hours, which is not too bad. And then one of my favorite trips to do here in Missouri is from O'Fallon is taking 70 to straight shot out to Kansas City. My family lives there, so we take that trip quite often. It's about 4 hours that direction. And so if you're thinking about moving to St. Louis, you have that Highway 70 that just really runs straight through the state in either direction. So if you're a road tripper like myself, some of the top employers that you can find in this area are going to be Boeing, Edward Jones, Worldwide Technology, Anheuser-Busch, Express Scripts, and then we actually have here in O'Fallon, we have MasterCard. It's right here in this area. The campus is beautiful. I've been to it a couple of times. So here's main O'Fallon, that Highway K, but MasterCard's going to be right over here in this area. So to get there, you'd probably want to take Highway K and hop on Mexico to Bryan, Winghaven Boulevard, and you could be right at MasterCard. So living in O'Fallon, you're going to find along Highway K here is where all of your shopping is going to take place. You got Hobby Lobby, Walmart, Target, Kohl's, any of the big department stores that you want to shop at. And then that's going to be right along this major interchange here between 364 and 70 on that Highway K stretch. That's where all your major shopping is, your major food, coffee places. And then in North O'Fallon, there's going to be more of your smaller family owned and operated businesses. One of my favorite places to go is Texmo Coffee Co. That's my place. Love it. They actually just won an award as well. And that's across the street from the city of O'Fallon as well, if you need business there. And then you have Assumption for church. So we have quite a few churches here in the area along this interchange of 70. So I love O'Fallon. I've lived here, like I said, the majority of my life. It has everything that I need, all of the parks that you could ever want, which I do want to point out. The other park that we love is Dames Park. It's kind of a little hidden gem up north. They have a couple of playgrounds that you can rent, as well as pickleball. And then it's got a lot of good walking paths that are pretty even. Want something that's more paved, that would be the place to go. If you're thinking about moving to O'Fallon, my contact information and my team's contact information is below. Feel free to call, text, email. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, we are able to help you achieve that goal. We have no problem doing that for you guys. So go ahead and drop below. You can find my contact information. My name is Heather. I do work on a team of us that we all work together, and we are more than happy to help you find that home that you want to move to here in the O'Fallon area.